Good morning, brothers and sisters. We welcome to our daily devotion insight. And this morning, I would like to share a devotion with you. I entitled it as Do You Want to Get Well? I will read from the book of John, chapter 5, verse 1 to 9. I'll read from the NIV version. It goes like this. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for one of the Jewish festivals. Now, there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." At once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. When we read this story, probably some of us must be thinking, why Jesus asked an obviously paralyzed man, does he want to get well or not? Well, isn't it obvious enough, Jesus? What are you thinking? The younger generation will say, duh. But before we jump into the conclusion, Jesus is trying to teach us something here. And here are 3 of my observations from this story for this morning's devotion. Number 1, not all people want to be healed or cured or get well. The reason Jesus asked this question because there are many people who are in need, does not want to be helped actually. There are many people who are struggling with addiction, substance abuse, destructive behaviors such as gambling and smoking. They do not recognize the need and the severity of the conditions that needed help. So the very first step to any form of restoration, spiritual help, spiritual restoration, any healing, is to admit, number 1, is that I need help. And we need God's help in our life. That's number 1. Number 2, what I observe is that God will help us in ways that we never expect it to be. In other words, we cannot put God in a box. We cannot dictate and tell God how He should help us. The paralytic man was saying that, I can't be healed because nobody will help him to go into the pool. Or by the time he gets to the pool, somebody else did. So in other words, he is trying to say, Jesus, perhaps you can send someone else or one of your disciples to help me go into the pool. I will be here. I'll be healed. He is trying to dictate to Jesus what to do. It is so human of us, isn't it? Often not, we will also say to God the same thing. God, if you were to bless me with $1 million right now, I will be free from that. Or God, if you were to take away my addiction, that desire, my struggles right now for drugs or for cigarettes, then I won't have to struggle anymore. Or God, if you were to remove certain people away from my life, then I don't have to deal with my anger. I don't have to deal with my depression anymore. We are trying to dictate God what to do. And often not, God does not work the way we expect Him to be, as we will see later on in the story. What Jesus did, Jesus said to him, get up, pick up your mat and walked. At once, the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. The man was being paralyzed for 38 years. Probably he don't know. Probably he was born paralyzed. Okay, we don't know. But for 38 years, he never walked. But he did. What else we learned? We learned that number 3, faith requires active action or participation from us. We cannot be passive. We cannot just stand there and do nothing. We need to stand up and walk. We cannot stay there and thinking that, we are still paralyzed and somebody else will need to help me and somebody else will need to prop me up to walk. Jesus told the paralytic man, You stand up, pick up your mat, get up, pick up your mat, don't leave your mess behind, and walk. Change. We stand up and walk. You stand up and walk. Take up your mat. Take away your mess. Do an active action, active participation towards your recovery, towards your wellness, towards your restoration that God is about to bring in your life. You take steps to break that addiction. You take steps to pray. Take steps to learn to read the Bible. I've never prayed before. Take steps. Baby steps. Maybe pray 1 minute every day. I never read the Bible before. Maybe read a chapter a day. Maybe you read few verses a day. It's good enough. Take active participation and you will see God do a restoration and wellness in your life. A miracle in your life. So this morning, I would like to encourage you that God still do miracles and wonders this morning. All we need to do is, number one, say, yes, God, I need your help. I want to be well. Number two, I do not expect anything. I don't expect how you should help me, but I expect great things to come. Number three, I will do whatever it takes towards that recovery, towards the thing that I'm praying for, towards that miracle that I'm praying for. May the word of the Lord bless us this morning.